What's up, guys? Welcome back to the first video on this channel. Yes, it's a soccer video. Yes, I will be talking about soccer. If you got a problem with that, I don't give a fuck. But we'll be talking more about soccer as we get closer to the World Cup as well. We are now 100 days away from the World Cup. That shit is going to be fucking beautiful. So why not start it off by talking about Champions League? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now we will go from a podcast only YouTube channel to now having videos. So if anything crazy happens in the NFL offseason and in the NBA playoffs, it will be going right here to this channel. So if you guys like that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment what else you would like to see me talk about. So when you look at this bracket, your eyes are instantly going to this left side where you have PSG going up against Chelsea, Club World Cup rematch, Galatasaray against Liverpool, a league phase rematch, Man City against Real Madrid, the Champions League derby is what I like to call it, and you have poor Atalanta against Bayern. And then when you swap to the right side, a rematch from earlier in the league phase, Newcastle against Barcelona, and you have Atletico de Madrid against Tottenham. You have the best underdog story potentially in Champions League history in Bodo against another team that's been performing amazingly in Europe, Sporting. And then you have poor Bayer Leverkusen against Arsenal. So to get something out the way, the biggest winner of this draw is Arsenal. They avoid the likes of Man City and Real Madrid in the quarterfinals, and they don't get to see PSG up until the finals, maybe even Liverpool. So they're the biggest winner. Another winner I would give to Barcelona because they don't have to go against PSG. As a Barca fan myself, thank the Lord this happened. But Newcastle are still a good side, so it will not be an easy matchup. Now, the biggest loser would be Bayern Munich, just because they didn't get the same path that Arsenal got. Yes, they got Atalanta in the round of 16. Should be easy peasy. But then they go up against Man City and Real Madrid, which on any given day, they could win the whole thing. So these are just, the biggest clubs in Europe, the clubs that have been dominating the Champions League for the last couple of years. So anything can happen. Anything can happen. These are not no little clubs per se, like Sporting or even and Bodo, But now let's talk about this left side of the bracket. That's so stacked. So stacked. You have a Club World Cup rematch up against PSG and Chelsea, where Chelsea thrashed PSG. Thrashed them. And now, fast forward a couple months later, and I think PSG will dominate Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea winning a single leg. I think maybe a draw in the first leg. But PSG just has too much star power. Chelsea have been too inconsistent at home. In the Prem, they've dropped a great amount of points from a winning position. And not only that, they are red card FC. If they get a red card at any point against PSG, wrap that shit up. PSG is taking full advantage. Because if PSG are at their best, they might repeat the whole thing. They haven't been playing good, but as of late, they have. So, PSG could really just win the whole thing. So, because of that, I will have PSG advancing to the quarters. Now, in another game that was played in the league phase in which Galatasaray won, I don't think they'll get the same result. I do think it will be a very close match because we have seen that Galatasaray can be very good in their round of 32 matchup against Juve, in which they won 7-5. They were up after the first leg 5-2. They almost sold the second leg to 10-man Juve, but in the clutch, Victor Osimhen and Yilmaz ended it and put the tie to bed. Will they have that same explosiveness against Liverpool? Probably not, but they have taken the game against Liverpool already. So if they keep it scrappy, I think that makes their chances better. And then I do just see Liverpool having too much for Galatasaray to handle, and they will move on to the quarters. and that will be the first matchup that we have in the quarters between PSG and Liverpool, which is a rematch of the round of 16 in the last Champions League. Now progressing to the Champions League derby, these teams stay playing each other. I don't know what FIFA has, what UEFA has, but damn, let these teams get a break. At this point, they play each other more times than they play the teams in their own domestic league. Like, damn. They're just shoving this fucking matchup in our fucking eyes. But we're all going to watch it for the most part. Real Madrid this season haven't been the best. Now Rodrigo's out, and Mbappe could potentially miss this matchup. I think there's no chance they win if they have no Mbappe. But even with Mbappe, I think this team has way too many issues. That back line is way too shit. They've been way too shaky. And you're going up against the best striker in the world in Erling Haaland. And yes, obviously they know that because they've gone against this shit the last couple of years. But City, with the new signings they made, especially with Mark Guehi, they have not lost a match while he's been their starting corner center back. I don't think it'll be a thrashing, but I think City will have a comfortable enough leg, whether it's the first or the second one, to where they will breeze past Madrid. Madrid have just like the star power, just it's not there. Like Vinny can only do so much. Valverde can only do so much. They'll need a miracle, I think, to win against City. So therefore, I think I got City advancing. City have just been, I think they'll be, again, way too much to handle for this Real Madrid side that will try to focus on the La Liga trophy, which they have potentially bottled, losing the last two games. So also because of their recent form, 2 L's in a row, if they play another match before the Champions League and they lose that or draw against whatever team they go against, their form going into that game against City will be horrendous. And especially if they have no Mbappe, y'all be fine. Y'all got the most Champions League for a reason. One season won't hurt. Y'all got it. As a Barca fan, I'll be fucking ecstatic. So please, City, clutch up. And the last matchup on the left side will be Atalanta against Bayern. Atalanta, good shit for your comeback against Dortmund. You made Italy proud. But that's where it stops. That's where it stops. They were running, and they bumped into the brick wall of Bayern Munich. Yeah, wrap that shit up. There's not really much to say. Bayern Munich, way too much for Atalanta to handle. Good shit on the comeback, making Italy proud, but that's where it ends. So this matchup right here will be City against Bayern. Old school Pep against new school Vincent Kompany. Another good matchup that I think really could go either way. I think that one could go either way. So let's see if I get the left side good. I think, come a little 4 for 4. I'm not going to act like I picked some underdogs or I picked something crazy. But that's what I think will happen. So we're going to see if I know ball or if I don't know ball. Now moving on to the right side, we have Barcelona against Newcastle. I think this will be a very good matchup. St. James Park, that atmosphere is no fucking joke. So we can't go in there and just get smacked. We got to put up a fight. Because then in the second leg, in the Camp Nou, that's where they could take full advantage, just gain all that momentum and just put them to bed. But Newcastle will put up a great fight. When we played earlier in the league phase, it took a Marcus Rashford masterclass to beat them. So if we just maintain great possession, we take advantage of our chances that are created, I think we'll be fine. Newcastle is a great team, very underrated, even though they're not doing as well in the Prem. They've been fairly solid in Europe, but that Barca attack, they can score 4 to 5 goals against any team in this Champions League on their night. But when it's not their night, that backline can give up just as much goals. So you just gotta hope that the back line can hold on for dear life. Just gotta hope they can hold on for dear life. Now on to the matchup of Atletico de Madrid against Tottenham. So you got the inconsistent Atletico that will smack Real Madrid, will smack Barca, but then they'll lose to Rayo Vallecano. This team is very fucking confusing. I'm very confused for this team. Don't get it at all. The talent is there. They make great signings, but they can't just put on the pitch together and stay consistent. I don't know if that's a Diego Simeone thing or if that's like team thing. I'm not gonna act like I watch Atletico ball all that much. And you have a relegation battling Tottenham Hotspur. Hey, it would be funny for them to get relegated, but then win the Champions League. The Champions League winners will be in the Championship, which is the second division of England, for those of you guys that don't know. But I think this is where I will get my upset, and I will have Tottenham beating Atletico de Madrid to advance to the quarters. I just think in order for Atletico to have a solidified lead into where they will feel 100% confident in winning, it would have to be a 3+ goal deficit. So if they do that in the first leg and they go up 3-0 against Tottenham, or they just go up by 3 goals or more, I think there is when they could be happy, and I think I'll feel more confident in them winning. But if they have anything less, I think Tottenham could take advantage. I don't think Tottenham is a good team at all. I just think that's going to be my upset. Not all the favorites are going to win. I could see also Galatasaray upsetting Liverpool, and I could have that as my upset, but I don't think that'll really happen. So I think this will be my upset. Relegation battling Tottenham Hotspur will upset Atletico de Madrid, which was set up for our Barcelona and Tottenham matchup. Now to finish off the round of 16, we have the almighty Bodo against Sporting. I can't say I got to see that Ajax team that went on an amazing run because I wasn't watching soccer at that time. But I think if you look at it from another perspective, I think that, or maybe most people do see it like that, this Bodo run might be even more impressive than that. At one point in the league phase with 3 to 4 games left, they had an under 5% chance to qualify, and they go on to beat some elite teams in Europe. They beat Atletico de Madrid, they beat Man City, and they beat Inter not once but twice, all while being in the pre-season. Bodo good shit, good fucking shit. Have definitely been fun to watch this Champions League. Team they're going up against Sporting finished in the top 8. A big surprise. I don't think you had one person who would have picked them to be in the top 8. They've also been very fantastic this season in Europe, but I think this is where their run comes to an end. I could easily see this game going to penalty shootouts. I think this is the most balanced matchup of the 8. Both teams more underrated on the underrated side of things. I could see Sporting taking a leg, but I could just see Bodo coming back and continuing the Cinderella run to the quarterfinals. Now, as for Bayer Leverkusen against Arsenal, good shit for making it to the round of 16, but I think this is where your run ends. Going up against the best team in the world. They might not have the talent for it. That attacking is a little stinky, but they have the best defense in the world, and defense wins fucking championships. So I think Bayer Leverkusen, they stand damn near no chance. This would be an amazing upset. Fuck Arsenal. Arsenal hater. The way they play. Fucking ugly as fuck to watch. But that's just me hating on them. That defense is way too fucking good. Leverkusen, we will be putting the under on your goals scored. We will definitely be doing that. But yeah, there's not really much to say. I think Arsenal will thrash this Leverkusen team, and that will lead to a Bodo and Arsenal matchup in the quarterfinals. So to recap on the teams I think are making the quarterfinals, I'll have PSG going up against Liverpool, I would have Man City going up against FC Bayern Munich. I have Arsenal going up against Bodo Glimt. And I have Tottenham Hotspur going up against FC Barcelona. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree on my takes. I know I picked 7 favorites, you could say, with my upset being Tottenham. But I do think this has a good chance to happen. I think at least 6 of these will happen. If less than 6 of these happen, then we'll see some crazy fucking upsets. Crazy upsets. But yeah, in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, and if you guys want to keep seeing more soccer content. So that's it for me, guys. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment. Here, we don't know ball.